Hi everyone, there's been a bit of a controversy over the last few days concerning this person. Just in case you don't know who that is, it's Theresa May. No, it's Viktor Orban, who is the Prime Minister of Hungary, and he's been accused of being an anti-Semite, a racist, and anti-Muslim in some of the policies that he has implemented as Hungarian Prime Minister. They've been appalling, quite honestly. Far-right government, right-wing, fascist-leaning government. Anyway, there was a vote about 4 days ago in the EU, and I wanted to cover this, but my back went out, as regular viewers will know. It is better now, by the way. I've got an appointment in a couple of days to have a massage. I digress. There was a vote to actually go down the route in the EU of disciplining Hungary for these actions, and may even lead to sanctions against a member of the EU, the EU state, which is, I don't think that's ever happened before. I might be wrong on that. And there was a vote, and the overwhelming amount of members of the European Parliament voted to, we need to discipline this country. We can't let this continue. However, the Tory members of the European Parliament voted to side with the Hungarian government. Let me say that again. The Conservative members of the European Parliament, Theresa May's people, voted to side with the racist, anti-Semite, anti-Muslim, far-right government leader. This obviously did not go down well with the British Board of Deputies of the British Jews. They released a statement saying this: "I note with disappointment that Conservative Party MEPs have voted in defence of Hungary's populist right-wing government of Viktor Orban. As we have stated previously, we are alarmed by the messages at the heart of Orban's election campaign, including his comments about Muslim invaders, calling migrants poison, and the vivid anti-Semitism in the relentless campaign against Jewish philanthropist George Soros." There's quite a few of my subscribers who will have their views on George Soros. Anyway, the whipping up of prejudice by the Hungarian government, alongside restrictions on press freedom and the independence of the judiciary, must be stopped before it undermines Hungary's democracy irreversibly. It is very concerning that Conservative Party MEPs chose to defend Hungary's appalling track record rather than supporting a motion to protect the rule of law. And as I say, that's from Marie van der Zyl, who's president of the Board of Deputies of British Jews. You can see here, this is the tweet that they made it out. "We note with disappointment that Conservative Party MEPs have voted in defence of Hungary's populist right-wing government of Viktor Orban, and the Muslim Council of Britain have also condemned it as well." Now, the newspapers, strangely enough, the newspapers haven't really made too much of a big deal about this. The Independent and the Guardian have done a few articles on it because it is a big story. It's been largely ignored by all the others. All the other newspapers that have been saying that Jeremy Corbyn is an anti-Semite and anti-Semitism is sick and we need to do something about it, it's terrible, and all these attacks on Jeremy Corbyn for being an anti-Semite. Now the government back a clearly anti-Semitic movement, and they're silent. What does that tell you about their hypocrisy? They don't actually stand for anything. The Tories don't. Not anything good anyway. Michael Gove was on the Andrew Marr show today, and he brought this up. Let's just take a listen to what he says.
My view is that the British are traditionally accused of playing divide and rule and picking off individual countries.
Is a man who is
but I'm not going to play that game, and I'm not going to go down the route of... I have views, as I'm sure you do as well.
What are they?
No, but I'm not going to be drawn on my views.
I have views as you do. Well, what are they? No, I'm not going to tell you my views. It reminds me of that, I've brought this in the Fast Show up before. There was a guy on the Fast Show who mentioned the politician, and all he would just say all the time is, no. That's who Michael Gove reminds me of.
But individual European leaders.
Because you need his support.
No, because I think...
No.
At a time when we need solidarity against a number of different threats. You mentioned anti-Semitism. We need to make sure that our voice is clear, our position on these issues is absolutely clear and resonant. And I don't believe that individual criticisms of the kind that you're understandably tempting me to make necessarily help us in ensuring that we get both solidarity on the issues that count and the best deal for Britain as we leave the European Union.
I suppose the point I'm making in a circuitous way is that we've had a lot of conversations in this country about anti-Semitism in British politics, and Jeremy Corbyn has been under a lot of criticism for that. Here you are, as a party, voting alongside the most prominent anti-Semitic politician, xenophobic politician, somebody who, as I say, has described migrants as poison. And that's been the Conservative Party's...
No, I think it's critical.
You voted with him?
No, it's not the case that we voted to support him. It is the case that the MEPs declined on this occasion, as they have on a number of occasions in the past. And there were people from a variety of different parties and a variety of different countries that declined to do so. But that is very, very far from endorsing or supporting the position that he takes.
Right, okay. That is absolute nonsense that he's just talked there. It's just nonsense. He said a lot of words there for the first minute and 20 seconds, which just said absolutely nothing, just deflection, which is obviously a politician's tactic. And then he said there, no, we're not siding with them. We're just not. It's like, well, that's a distinction without a difference. It's a distinction without a difference. Now, he did say this. Let me get the quote. In that interview, he said this. He critiqued, where is it? Michael Gove, here he is. This is what Gove said. It's a long-standing principle of a number of MPs from different countries and from different parties not to believe that the European Parliament should interfere or censure the internal democracy of a particular country. It's just a joke, it really is. They're so hypocritical, it's unreal. Right now, they're trying to overthrow Syria. They're trying to overthrow the Syrian government. They're putting crippling sanctions on Venezuela, the UK are. And then he says, he said in that, I tell you, this is the quote, he said, it's a long-standing principle of a number of MEPs from different countries and from different parties not to believe that European Parliament should interfere in or censure the internal democracy of a particular country. But it's okay for the UK to do it. That's basically what he's saying. It's okay for the UK to do it, but no, not in the EU. It really is so hypocritical of them. And it's even more hypocritical when he dodged the question there. This is just a quid pro quo by a desperate Tory government to gain support within Europe, is what it is. It's a desperate quid pro quo. Look at this from BuzzFeed. Leaked WhatsApp show Downing Street told Tory members of the European Parliament to distance themselves from Viktor Orban. Conservative MEPs provoked outrage after they were whipped to opposed action against the Hungarian government, which is being accused of attacks on the media and minorities. In my opinion, the second line there should be the headline. Conservative MEPs provoked outrage after they were whipped to oppose. So they have been told here by the UK government. They have been told they've been told to oppose this sanctioning of Hungary that the European Union looks like they're going down the route of. The article, I'm just going to read the highlighted bit there. Downing Street has privately told Conservative MEPs to distance themselves from Viktor Orban after they provoked outrage by voting in support of Hungary's authoritarian right-wing government on Wednesday. WhatsApp messages leaked to BuzzFeed News reveal Number 10 intervened following intense criticism of Tory MEPs who voted to oppose measures against the Hungarian government in the European Parliament. MEPs were instructed to share a tweet stating they did not support Orban and warned not to comment further on the matter. So this is the Tory government basically telling their MEPs, listen, we need Hungary's support for our Brexit deal. We want them to vote for our Brexit deal. So this is a quid pro quo. We don't vote for any sanctions on them or any action on them for being anti-Semitic. They give us support for our Brexit white paper or whatever the proposal is. That's what this comes down to. That's what it comes down to. So it just shows here that the attacks that Theresa May and the Tories have been constantly giving the Labour Party, and especially Jeremy Corbyn, for being an anti-Semite when he's got 4 or 5 decades of the most anti-racist person in government, in the Houses of Parliament. It just shows that their attacks on him have got no merit at all. They're not doing it, for the right reasons. They're doing it because it's a blunt instrument that they can beat the opposition over the head with, so that they don't attack their policies, because if they attack the Labour Party's policies, as I've said many times, people will start hearing the Labour Party's policies, and Labour Party's policies are pretty, they sound pretty good to working people of the UK, but they just don't hear them because the news are always talking about anti-Semitism. And how hypocritical is it of the gutter press in this country, of the Daily Mail, the Sun, blah, 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 to not even make, they haven't made any comment on it as far as I can see. None at all. They certainly haven't made a big deal about this. Theresa May siding with an anti-Semite whilst in the same week as attacking Corbyn over anti-Semitism. It really is a joke. They're hypocritical and they've got to go. And it just shows how much of a shaky ground that Theresa May's Brexit position is, that they're having to curry support from the racists, from the racist governments in Europe in a quid pro quo. Just think about that. They are siding with anti-Semites and racists to get the deal that they want pushed through on Brexit, whilst at the same time condemning somebody who is clearly not a racist or anti-Semite as an anti-Semite. It seems to me that Theresa May is doing things as Prime Minister for her own benefit and her own benefit, or her own party's benefit, rather than the benefit of the people of this great country. That's what it seems to me. I'm pretty sure you'll draw the same conclusion as me as well after hearing this. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below. Independent media platforms like mine are being censored by giant media such as Facebook and Google, so we rely on you, our audience, to share our work and spread the word. If you can, please support us on Patreon. You can do it on my channel for as little as $1 a month, and every bit helps. We cannot do this without your support. Thanks very much for your support. It's really appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.